this is probably one of the darkest folklore redesigns I'll ever make. Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to be taking a look at a creature from folklore and redesigning it. I'm going to change everything from switching up the design to totally rewriting the backstory and the lore of the creature. This is not to say that my redesigns are better than the originals, they're purely just fun little creative exercises. So first, let's take a look at the original. Today we're looking at the Noppera-bō, the literal meaning being faceless monk. It is a Japanese yokai, which is a certain class of Japanese monsters, which basically refers to something that is a strange apparition, such as a ghost, spirit, or demon. This yokai is more mischievous rather than malevolent. They don't have evil intent or harm people, rather they are actually completely harmless. They're tricksters who impersonate people for the sole purpose of scaring them, although sometimes this scaring is in order to punish people. Noppera-bō appear to be ordinary humans, but they are actually shapeshifters. They blend in perfectly with human society, however the illusion is quickly shattered when met face to face. Noppera-bō actually have no face at all. Their heads are blank orbs with no eyes, nose, mouth, or any features of any kind. Noppera-bō are often encountered on a quiet, empty road late at night when nobody else is around. Noppera-bō usually appear in the guise of a man or a woman with his or her back turned towards the observer. When approached, the yokai turns around and reveals its terrifying true form. To maximize the effect, they often appear with a face at first, and then wipe their face off dramatically with their hand at the most opportune time. Often work together in groups to scare one individual. As their victim runs away in a panic from the first Noppera-bō they encountered, he runs into another person who asks him what is wrong. When the victim explains what he saw, this person replies, "Oh, you mean like this?" and wipes his face away just like the first Noppera-bō. They're even known to impersonate close relatives of their victims, and sometimes a poor man will run all the way home, having run into multiple faceless ghosts, only to tell his wife what he saw and have her too reply, "Oh, you mean like this?" Now onto my redesign. The first thing I did was to gather a mood board of representational images I found of the Noppera-bō, of which there actually aren't really that many. I used these as an inspiration for my visual design, and also it kind of inspired my updated backstory as well. I wanted to go a very different approach to the original with these ones, especially to differentiate them from my last folklore redesign video, which I will link in the description, where I redesigned Yuki-onna, as she was very much humanoid. So for fun, I wanted to experiment with making this very visually different. And I also wanted to make them more dangerous and horrific because I love me some horror. The first thing I came up with was something similar, a chameleon. They don't steal people's identities, but they do camouflage so that they can look like something else. When brainstorming ways of making the creature more dangerous, I thought that perhaps this stealing of a person's identity could be used to control them in some way, and as such this reminded me of the parasitic fungi which controls the bodies of its victims, which also influenced both the design and concept, although I didn't really go down the controlling route in the end. You'll see. I'll explain the whole backstory later. My choice with the way the body is represented was due to wanting to create something which did not appear human, but was eerily kind of humanoid. Like, the idea of this was to emphasize the aspect of it trying to be human when it quite clearly isn't. I was also inspired by the fact that a lot of Japanese yokai are often described as having no feet, so I did the same for this creature by making it kind of phase out of reality at the bottom, which is further adding to the whole illusion concept. And the face being in the center of a circle, as you can see, was inspired by some drawings of the Noppera-bō which show like a hole in the face. So I took that concept and I turned it into this round kind of stone structure with a hole in it because, I don't know, my brain just did that. Anyway, in line with my knowledge of shape language, I tried to keep the creature looking angular, even making the circle look angular as well. The more sharp a shape is, the more unfriendly vibes it gives off, and if it's rounder, it appears more friendly. Here you can see further concepts where I messed around with the colours. I based the one on the far left off of the real colours of chameleons, which is mostly greens. However, I desaturated it a little to make it appear less bright and friendly. I also experimented with some different variations of the creature's colour, although I don't really know where on earth the middle one is going to be able to camouflage, like maybe Charlie's Chocolate Factory or something. Anyway, here is my final concept art with my decided design and colour scheme, showing the creature with different faces and also without. You can see the root-like growth on its neck, which forms an attachment to this victim's head, which is what grew from my fungus ideas. So now for the backstory, which explains this abomination, and well, this is probably one of the darkest folklore redesigns I'll ever make. So here is what I wrote. The Noppera-bō is a highly dangerous species of parasitic type spirit, which was largely exterminated in the late 1600s. However, it is theorized that the last dredges of the population still exist somewhere due to their innate ability to blend in with living species such as humans. The Noppera-bō is formed from two main parts: a tough bark-textured body and something known as the circle, which resembles a round chunk of rock, however is actually spongy in texture. Little is known about the purpose of the circle, however it likely plays a key role in the creature's camouflaging ability. Noppera-bō are known to inhabit forests, where their long, muscular tail allows them to easily hang from and navigate the canopies. They jump on prey and remove their heads, which the root-like growth located on their necks then grows into. Once this occurs, the creature gains the knowledge stored in the victim's brain and can also generate an illusion so that it appears to be its victim. This illusion is often used to fool humans, so the Noppera-bō can use them as a pawn to acquire whatever it desires. Okay, so basically, if it wasn't clear, these guys are spirits, which hang out and live in the forest and crawl about like a giant, cursed chameleon. They're carnivores who feed via the attachment thing in the centre of their quote-unquote stone circle. However, when they come across a person and they're able to kill them, they will steal, or if they just find a dead body, I guess, they will steal the victim's head and use it to create an illusion that they are indeed that person in order to manipulate humans and get whatever riches or whatever it is that they want to siphon from them. You might notice some things are subtly off with the person who's been replaced. For example, the weird facial anatomy in this drawing is totally on purpose. People might quip that those who show a sudden change of character have been replaced by Noppera-bōs, and the illusion will hold up until the observer realizes that there is something very off with the person that they once knew, and then the illusion will shatter, revealing the really rather horrifying truth underneath. So I hope you enjoyed this really kind of messed up tale of horror that I've created here by warping the Noppera-bō's backstory, or if you don't, then I hope it didn't gross you out too much. But let me know what you think, and if you have any ideas for any more folklore you want to see me redesign for fun. And thank you so much for watching. Goodbye!